Deep in El Salvador, in a land marked by volcanoes and history, sits a symbol of the country's fight against gangs. It's called CECOT, the Center for the Confinement of Terrorism. 70 kilometers east of the capital, San Salvador, CECOT is a huge prison made of concrete and steel. It shows El Salvador's tough stance on gangs. You can see CECOT from miles away. Its size shows how big the gang problem is and how seriously the government is taking it. CECOT isn't just any prison. It's the biggest in the Americas. Built to hold tens of thousands of people the government calls enemies. It was built in only 10 months, a fast construction project that sent a clear message. This wasn't a simple decision. It was a statement. El Salvador was done talking with the gangs that had caused so much trouble for so long. The prison is far away from the cities where gang violence used to be common. It's surrounded by empty land, a place where the outside world disappears. Even the road to CECOT is serious. There are armed checkpoints and guards everywhere, a warning to anyone who might cause trouble. CECOT was built incredibly fast, showing how urgent the situation was for President Nayib Bukele. In El Salvador, construction projects often take a long time, but CECOT was different. The government started building in early 2022 when gang violence was very bad. The prison cost $115 million. That's a lot of money for a small country. But the government said it was important for the future. They said stopping the violence was more important than the cost of the prison. Building CECOT made people in El Salvador feel proud. The government showed it on TV, saying it was a sign that things were getting better. Every piece of concrete, every steel bar, was a step toward a safer El Salvador. By February 2023, less than a year later, CECOT was ready for prisoners. CECOT can hold 40,000 inmates, more people than live in many small cities. This shows how big El Salvador's gang problem is. For years, gangs like MS-13 and Barrio 18 controlled the country. They were involved in everything from stealing money to kidnapping and murder. As the government fought the gangs, more and more people were arrested, sometimes for small reasons. By August 2024, the government said there were 14,500 inmates, but the real number might be higher. The government doesn't say exactly how many people are in CECOT, and that worries human rights groups. It's clear that the prison is filling up fast. This shows how seriously the government is fighting gangs. But so many prisoners are causing problems. It's hard to take care of so many people, and people wonder if the prison can keep going like this. Life in CECOT is very hard. The prison is designed to be unpleasant and take away any freedom. When new inmates arrive, they are treated badly. Guards shave their heads and make them kneel. They yell at them to make them scared and obedient. Cells meant for 80 people often hold twice or 3 times that many. There isn't even enough room to lie down. The cells smell bad because there aren't good bathrooms. There's almost nothing in the cells' metal beds without mattresses, one toilet, and a concrete floor. Most cells don't have windows, only dim electric lights that are always on. CECOT is the most important part of President Bukele's plan to stop gangs. He started this plan in 2022 because of a lot of violence. Bukele declared a state of emergency, which gave police more power to arrest people without needing a reason. People were tired of being scared, so they liked Bukele's plan. Building CECOT was a big part of this plan. The government wanted to take gang members off the streets and lock them up. Bukele said this was the only way to stop the violence. The government says it's working because fewer people are being murdered. They say El Salvador is safer now, but other people say this won't last, and that the government is taking away people's rights. Other countries have been involved with CECOT. The United States has given El Salvador a lot of money and support. The U.S. has given money for police training and equipment, and has also sent suspected gang members back to El Salvador, where many end up in CECOT. Human rights groups are worried. They say the U.S. is supporting bad things happening in El Salvador. Sending people back to a country where they might be hurt or put in jail unfairly is a serious problem. One example is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He lived in the U.S., but was sent back to El Salvador in 2025 and put in CECOT. The U.S. Supreme Court said he should be returned to the U.S., but he's still in CECOT. The U.S. government says it's important to stop gangs, but this case and other reports of bad treatment in CECOT have caused problems between the two countries. People are worried about what's happening inside CECOT. There are reports of torture, killings, and people disappearing. Human rights groups say inmates are beaten, kept alone, and don't get medical care. It's hard to know for sure what's happening because the government won't let anyone visit the prison. Because of the state of emergency, people can be arrested without the usual legal protections. This makes it easier for them to be mistreated. The government says these reports aren't true and are just made up by gang members, but because there are so many reports and the government won't let anyone inspect the prison, people are very concerned. President Bukele says CECOT is necessary to fight crime. He says the prison's harsh conditions are needed to control dangerous criminals. They cause so much pain, they destroyed so many families, Bukele said about the gang members. Now, they will spend their lives in prison. His justice minister said no one will ever walk out of CECOT. These statements make people worry about human rights. The families of the prisoners are very sad. Many haven't seen their loved ones since they were arrested, and they can't talk to them. They don't know if their family members are alive, being hurt, or just living in terrible conditions. No one answers when they ask for information or visits. News reporters from around the world, including CNN, have reported on CECOT's bad conditions. They have talked to former inmates who say they were treated terribly. These reports show how El Salvador's fight against gangs is hurting people. Some people say the government is doing the right thing to stop gangs, while others say it's going too far. This debate will probably continue as long as CECOT exists. Will CECOT be a symbol of El Salvador's victory over crime or a symbol of shame? We don't know yet, but the world is watching, and CECOT makes us think about how to balance safety and human rights.